Hello all. So today you will be discussing how to use StyleCop under the Essential Development Tools module. Okay. So from this session, what will you learn? First thing is that what is StyleCop, why StyleCop is used for, and we'll have a small demo after it, and how to run a StyleCop from command line, the custom rules for StyleCop, and at last we'll have a small quiz related to this. Okay. Moving forward, what is StyleCop? In general, StyleCop is basically a free static code analysis tool from Microsoft that checks C# code for conformance to StyleCop's recommended coding styles and a subset of Microsoft's .NET Framework design guidelines. So basically, StyleCop analyzes the source code, allowing it to enforce a different set of rules from any other coding tools such as FXCop and anything. Okay, basically it analyzes the C# code to enforce a set of style and consistency rules across all the project. Why StyleCop? The major reason is that the StyleCop maintains a consistency coding style across the entire development group. Moreover, it makes easier for developers to adhere to coding guidelines or standards, and also provides a simple way to analyze the code base for style uniformity. Moreover, all these three sums up would be a better readability format too. So now we'll have a small demo regarding it, how exactly StyleCop throws up the errors or warnings in a particular project. Okay. Now I'll show you a sample example of how you run the StyleCop. Okay, so after installing StyleCop, open a VS Studio. So take any project. So from there, go to Tools and click on Run StyleCop. Okay, so you'll get all the error message in a tab called as warnings. Okay, so by default it comes on a warning, so you even have an option in order to view all these errors in a errors tab too. Okay, so if you just click on it and observe it, it all shows what it says that use a built-in types alias string rather than string or zero. So these are something called of naming conventions wherein which you need to follow, and if you check this, it says that the class must have a documentation header. So this again an indentation or sort of thing. So if you once browse on it, it says that adjacent elements must be separated by a blank line. Okay, so these are some of the common errors which basically StyleCop's helps you to find it out in application. Okay, so it also says that see this a closing curly braces bracket must not be a blank line. So it says that it should not be while writing code we should not give any spaces between the closing braces of it. Okay, so if you run it, one second. No, once you save it and again if you want to run it, you won't find this error from next time. Okay, so this is some of the common errors which it pops up. And one more thing is all directory must be placed inside the namespace. Okay, these are some of the common errors which StyleCop basically pops up. Okay, and you can go into it when even same thing, adjacent elements must be separated by blank line. Okay, things like that. So basically if you it always says that the call to grid view must be begin with this prefix to indicate that the item is a member of class. Okay, it gives us some sort of, as I will be discussing in next session wherein what all rules are there in FXCop, in StyleCop. Okay, so these are some of the common rules or general rules which many developers tends to do it. Okay, something else. It even says some of the best practices, saying that use string.empty rather than giving it as empty codes, right? We generally have a habit of assigning it to the empty set, right? So better instead of it says that better assign it to string.empty. Okay, so these are some of the common errors which are placed in it. Now we'll see how to change the settings of StyleCop from command prompt. Okay, so just open CMD of here. I'll show you from Sketchpad. So even if StyleCop has provided as an option to change the setting directly from the command prompt. Okay, so for that go to program files from command prompt. Okay, so go to Microsoft StyleCop. So we just navigate in the folder where the StyleCop has been installed. Okay, here we go. So now just run copy and paste one. So it is basically used to pop up one of the settings for it. So press enter. Yeah, here we go. So this is where the window which shows what all rules are there in your StyleCop. Some files, some info regarding the setting files, results caching, and component info and Hungarian. So coming to the rule section, in this we basically have 8 rules in StyleCop. Basically these are documentation related, layout related, maintainability rules, naming rules, ordering rules, readability rules, and spacing rules. Okay, so if we go in depth, just click on it. Yeah, so each of this rule has even a subset of rules. So it basically says you what all errors are there under the subset. So I just shown a demo, right? For this documentation, what has to be, so it says that enumeration items must be documented. So all the rules related to documentation would fall under this criteria. Okay, the same is the case of layout rules, whether it says curly braces for multiple lines must not be in a shared line. Okay, so sort of thing related to curly braces bracing. And coming to maintainability rules, it says that parentheses are good or not, some sort of blah blah blah. And naming rules, we have a good amount of naming rules over here. Elements will become in uppercase. Again, StyleCop again provides an option wherein if you you can uncheck this naming rules. So there are scenarios wherein for some products you don't need this rule. So unnecessary, why to create a list count of bigger, right? So we can directly uncheck these rules. So based upon your project requirements. Okay, so like that. So the same is the case of ordering rules. We have again 2 subcategories in it: element order. So using directory regarding this must be placed within namespace, and all these direct to namespaces. And one more thing, readability rules. Here we have a good amount of rules. Comments says that comments must contain text. So it even says that even if you leave empty, if you leave a blank comment, then again StyleCop finds it and shoots this sort of error. Okay, so just make sure while writing nothing is left blank. Okay. Something related to terms, regions, and types. Strings, it says that to use empty string rather than assigning it to empty quotes. Okay. Last we go is spacing rules. Yeah, it says that the keywords must be spaced correctly, all those things. So these are general common issues which many people tend to do it, but it's a good tool wherein it shows up all the errors, which even though they're small, but pretty useful in our coding applications, right? So in next going to settings files. Yeah, this tab basically used to determine how to merge files. These settings with other settings if you have. So you can have merge with the following setting if at all you have it. So as of now we don't need it, right? So I just want to escape it. Yeah, next tab is basically results caching. Yeah, this is one of the good feature which StyleCop provides is that it's basically used to increase the overall performance of StyleCop, so that the results can be cached after each and every analysis, right? So good thing is that it's by default is checked, right? So no need to uncheck it. Your other tab containing the company info, again the same thing as if you want to give your company info and copyright, you can do it. So as of now we don't need it. And Hungarian notation, 2 category prefix, add prefix if at all. So the major tabs which you use in this command prompt is that checking and unchecking of these rules based upon your requirements. Okay, so this is also a good feature which StyleCop has provided us to run, right? So that's it from this.